Hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Yu Wing. You can call me Yu Win or Win, and I'm happy that we get to connect whenever and wherever you are tuning in. So I like to start each video sharing a practice, something that I do. And today's practice is something for the upcoming holidays. One of the things that I try to do when I am connecting with friends about meeting up is one, being very clear about gifts and if that will happen, and maybe negotiating um, the terms of gift giving. So if there's an amount, if there's a handmade policy, if there's a no wrapping paper policy, um, that's one thing. And then another thing that I've done in the past um, is to ask for experiences instead of gifts. And so we may then try to schedule a time in December, which is um, in my neck of the woods. We're celebrating the holidays in December in the Northern Hemisphere. And so I've had friends who we've volunteered to do something together. Maybe we went somewhere that somebody had been wanting to go to. Maybe we ice skated or roller skated. So it was either finding a way to be very clear and intentional about any gifts and or turning it into a holiday celebration. So for your consideration, in case you are preparing the credit cards and finances for buying things, maybe just something to try or incorporate with some people or just for your consideration. And then, oh, what to talk about today, huh? I am feeling better. I was able to restore some energy, even though I had an early morning and, um, I was able to sleep better, even though I woke up several times. So my energy was feeling a little bit better. And that was helpful for me as I was going throughout my day and my activities. And there was something I was going to share, but I forgot. Hmm. Maybe it'll come back. And I was able to host a training talking about grief as a reaction to loss. And so it was a good training because the people who showed up were vulnerable and courageous enough to share their personal experiences. It usually just takes one person, and then there's more openness from the group. So it's very, very appreciative um, to be able to hold that space and also to be a part of that space, holding it as in witnessing and sort of allowing whatever needed to unfold, but also to be able to share with people my own experiences too. So, um, yeah, it's always a really great reminder of how somebody, I can't remember where I heard this from. It might have been just a very like passing thought I had read online somewhere, but they essentially said, I know that if someone can talk about grief and loss, that I can trust them to talk about anything. Because to be able to go deep and to go with someone to witness their grief um, means that anything like there's nothing off off the table. And so after reading that, it is something that is important for me to, ask. I like to ask people where they are on their grief journey. If I've found out that they have experienced loss, whether it's the loss of life or loss of a role or identity. Um, but yeah, I think that's why the grief coach course that I found was helpful, and I want to be able to continue to dive into that and glean all that I can. Um, yeah, I was just a little bit in thought there about grief, and in the case that you are navigating your own grief journey right now, or if you know somebody who is navigating and you're unsure of what to say or do. Um, we watched a video by Megan Devine, or is it Levine? Shoot, I will include that in the notes. Um, but she just talked about how being able to witness how someone's hurting is sometimes the only and the best thing to do. Nobody wants to get advice when they're feeling. Nobody really wants to have their feelings invalidated. And even though it feels really counterintuitive that we want to fix it and make things better and make them feel better, that's not what emotions really are about, whether it's grief, sadness, anger, frustration, right? When someone's in it, when they're feeling it, just to have someone sit there and to be able to reflect back, like, hey, you're feeling sad, like it's totally valid. Um, and just to allow them to say or do what they need to do, I think is more healing than we know. And so, I think we stay away from going deeper in general as a society and as many societies, because we got to keep going and we got to keep working and we got to keep paying for things and affording our lives. Um, so if you are somewhere in grief, or know somebody, being courageous to ask, hey, can you just sit with me while I'm sad? Going back to the video about not crying alone, hey, I need to cry and can I cry with you? And maybe figuring out who is open to that and who is not. If you are supporting someone or you know someone who is grieving a loss, hey, can I sit with you while you're sad? Do you want to call me when you're crying? If you have that capacity, obviously. Not saying that you have to be, not all of us are designed or trained to be therapists, but we can still be therapeutic in how we show up for people. Um, yeah. So thinking about grief, talking about grief today, and just wanting to share some of the things that we discussed in the case that it's helpful for you or somebody that you know. So thank you for showing up and being a part of my journey, a part of my 90-day challenge to speak my truth and say what I need to say. I hope that you know and that you will soon come to believe that who you are is completely deserving and worthy of unconditional love. I look forward to connecting with you again next time. And until then, please take good care. Okay, bye bye.